Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. We're gonna have some fighting words. But before we go any further, I need for you to like this video and also please subscribe to my channel. So the fight is here, and as I said before, everybody would be excited about it. The tickets sold out in minutes. Khan versus Brook is a real thing, and I'm very excited. It took darn near 10 years for this fight to happen. But still, I'm very excited. I like both of these guys. I like both of their fighting styles, and they've had pretty successful careers as well. This fight, now granted, I wasn't really around or anything during that era when you had Nigel Benn versus Chris Eubank Sr. But this kind of feels like that same type of thing. Now granted, they fought in their prime. They fought twice. I don't know if we'll get two fights out of these two. And I don't know if they'll be able to bury the hatchet as well. But I'm excited to see this fight. And I know all of the UK has got to be like super excited. Well, tickets sold out in minutes. I know they're excited. Like I said, it's been 10 years in the making. All the talk is over. We got maybe one or two more press conferences to soak out of this thing. And it's here. So let's just get into this fight breakdown for Amir Khan and what he needs to do in order to be successful against Kell Brook, Special K. So here we go. First thing that we need to talk about when we talk about Amir Khan, we have to talk about the speed. Speed is huge. I mean, just in fighting in general, it's huge. But Amir Khan has like speed. Like he's like the Flash, okay? It was Paulie Malignaggi who said he had never seen anybody as fast as Amir Khan. Now, mind you, Paulie came up in the Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather era. You know, he was around with Sweet Pea and all those guys. He was around with Nas. He was around with all those guys. And for him to say, wow, this guy's fast. I've never seen anybody as fast as him. That's saying something. So, yeah, his speed has always been something to marvel at. And he knows how to work his speed. And he uses it to his abilities, like he uses them to the fullest. Especially when he's pumping his jab. And that brings me into my second point, the jab. Amir Khan has one of the greatest jabs I've ever seen. There's certain people who have had great jabs. In my personal opinion, like the all-time great jabbers that I've seen, Sonny Liston, Oscar De La Hoya, Triple G, Amir Khan. Those four, they all of them have amazing jabs, and all of them have lived and died by those jabs. And quite frankly, that is the punch that you live and die by. It can get you out of trouble, and it can put your opponent in trouble. That's the punch that can take you around the world. And Amir Khan has mastered the jab. He's consistent with the jab. It's the speed with the jab. It's just constantly in your face. You know, he can jab to the body. He can bring it back up top. He can double it up. I mean, he's extremely fast. I've even seen Amir Khan triple a jab. I've seen him do that. And like he hit the guy all three times. The dude is extremely fast, and that jab is a serious weapon, especially since he's fighting Kell Brook. And Kell Brook has some orbital issues. So it's going to be interesting. You know, he's a sniper. And I think he needs to play this on the outside. I don't think Amir Khan has the greatest footwork in the world, but he's always been someone who can punch and move at the same time. And when I say punch and move, I don't mean like punch and move into you. I mean like he'll punch and circle around you. So he's just hitting around somebody, and he's good at that. He's good at that while a consistent jab. He's good at that while throwing combinations. So it's going to be a problem for Kell Brook. It is not going to be an easy, walk or anything like that. It's going to be a climb up a hill. However, there are some issues with Amir Khan. And if one thing that I've always seen with Amir Khan is it's his anger, his temper. Some people know how to stay composed. Some people just know how to stay composed. Amir Khan does not. Amir Khan does not. He's just not a composed fighter. Some people can get hit with a really good shot, and they know how to take it and say, okay, well, we got like 4, 5, 6 more rounds to go. Floyd Mayweather is like a master of just staying composed. I remember after he fought Conor McGregor, Conor was just blown away. He's like, he's so composed. He's like, nothing you do gets under his skin. He's so composed. In the whole post-press conference, that's all Conor kept saying. He's so composed. He's just so composed. And that's something that Amir Khan has never mastered. He's a very disciplined fighter until he gets hit. Until he gets hit, he's a very disciplined fighter. He's a dangerous sniper until he gets hit. Once he gets hit, it's like, nah, screw it. You hit me, I gotta get you back. And I'm not waiting for the next round. I'm not waiting 2 rounds from now. No, I'm gonna get you back right now, this moment. And forbid you knock him down. He wants it in that next exchange. The minute he's done with his 8 count or whatever, he wants it in that next exchange. That is not a good place for Amir Khan to be. We all know he's weak in the chin. That is not good for him. That is not a safe place for him. He needs to stay. I don't think at this stage in the game, he can change who he is. So for me to say stay composed, I doubt that's going to happen. But what you could say is, Amir, just stick to the game plan. You don't have to be happy about it, but just get back up and do what you've been doing. Do what got you to the dance. Do what's gotten you these couple rounds. Continue doing that. Don't get caught up in a firefight. Kell Brook would love to catch Amir Khan in a firefight. Do not do that. I just don't. I've always loved Amir Khan, but every time the dude gets angry, something just switches inside of him and he just goes left. And it's like, dude, come back right. And he's like, no, I'm over here and I'm staying over here for the rest of the fight. If he can just stick to the game plan, he's gonna make this I'm not saying he's going to beat Kell Brook. I'm just saying he's going to make this a very, very difficult fight. I would put the odds in his favor if he is disciplined, if he sticks behind the jab, if he's consistent with that thing, and if he keeps the distance. That's another thing about Amir Khan. He has long arms, for the division, and he knows how to keep distance. He understands where his range is. It's not up close and personal. Amir Khan does not want to fight you in a telephone booth. That's not where he wants to be. That is not his strength. He doesn't want to fight you off the ropes. He wants to be in the center of the ring. He wants some space, and he knows how to create space, which is another reason why he does that circling thing, so you never trap him in. So if you got a consistent jab and you're circling around, there's no way to really trap him in. You got a jab in your face, and he's probably hitting you because he is that fast. And then he's moving at the same time. You can't really box him in. Most of the times when Amir Khan's gotten clipped, for the most part, Amir Khan kind of, I don't want to take any credit from anybody else, but if you look at his fights where he got clipped, he got angry, or he got hit hard and he did things he shouldn't have done. If you look at the Canelo fight, he was clearly winning that fight until he got clipped. So dude was winning. So that's he just has to stay. I can't say stay composed, but stick to your game plan. Stick to your game plan. That's all. Stick behind the jab and stay moving. Stay just circling around like you always do. You're great at that. And he has great combinations as well. If he feels like he has somebody hurt, Amir Khan's a pretty solid finisher. And he won't hesitate to pull the trigger. He has great combinations. Again, that hand speed is going to play a major role. And he's not a soft puncher either. I don't, for no way, shape, or form want to put it out there. He's a soft puncher. And he knows how to finish a guy. If he feels like you're hurt or you're about to go, he knows how to get you out of there. So he's a very dangerous guy. The con, like I said, is his temper. Do not stand still. Amir Khan can't afford to stand still. I'm sorry. That chin has been compromised way too many times and it was brutal when he was taken out. They were always brutal. So you can't afford to stand still. That is not his strong suit. Staying still. No brawling. He doesn't do well in brawls, but he's Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, dude's got a temper. And he's a fighter. he's not going to run, like that's not his personality, but he doesn't need to get into a brawl. He does not need to get his back against those ropes. He doesn't need to find himself in a corner. He doesn't need to plant his feet. Those are the things that he doesn't need to do. Those are the things that are going to play into Kell Brook's favor. It's not going to play into his favor. You want to stay behind your jab. You want to consistently move. And you just want to be smart. You want to keep your distance. Do not break distance. Do not break distance. I think if he can just do that, honestly, I don't see any reason why he can't snipe Kell Brook. No reason whatsoever why he can't snipe Kell Brook if he stays behind that jab. And it's a consistent jab all night. And if he's doubling up on that jab, my goodness. Like if he's feeling the flow, it's going to be a problem for Kell Brook. It's going to be a long night for Kell Brook. And I see that eye swelling up super serious, majorly. Also circling around. Never giving him a stationary target because Kell Brook is kind of like a bull, and he will just rush in. There were many times like, when Kell Brook fought Sean Porter, he was getting roughed back, and he out-muscled Sean Porter. And we're talking about a young Sean Porter, a young, wild, and reckless Sean Porter. So you don't want to get into a wrestling match with Kell Brook. You don't want to allow Kell Brook to break that distance to where he can big brother you and push you around. Don't give him the opportunity. Don't give him the opportunity. You know you're faster. You know you have a better jab. You know you throw more punches. And you know you have better footwork. Utilize those things, and I don't see a whole lot of reason on why you shouldn't be successful. But those are my thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say down below. Please like and please subscribe.